So on March 5th, I did a very quick game jam. It was about 6 hours long. I had an idea to make sort of like a Persona style clone, since that was the game of choice, like the game series that I really enjoy playing. So I wanted to take a shot at it. So here is that quick little demo. I'm going to try to walk through everything that's going on. So we're going to press play here. We have July 14th, 2017 being our date, and then we're loaded into this sort of town square sort of thing. You're the red square right in the middle. Um, I tried to get a lot more of the coding legwork done on the front end, and then as I was getting closer and closer to my deadline, I decided to just stop with the trying to create people because those guys take a while to make. So here we have this little town square. We have a road behind us. We have a couple of green guys that we're going to go talk to, a couple of white guys, and then all these different businesses all the way along here. So each of these green people you can go up to, and once you're within a certain zone, you can hit space to start a conversation with them, and it'll say the person's name or their title, whatever. They'll have a couple lines of dialogue. Press enter to continue, and your player is locked into that area until you finish up this string of the conversation. So you'll press enter. Um, they'll have their own little spiel that they have. Um, and then you can move on to the next one. So the white ones were ones that I wanted to do like the Persona style social links, but I didn't quite get around to it. But each of the businesses, you can walk up to them and they will have the same little exclamation point where you can interact with them. So we'll come back here to this little department store. You can see it way back here. You can hit space. The sign says the store is closed. Please come back later. Press enter, and then you can keep moving. If you come up to this one, you can come talk to her, and they all say different things. So timid looking girl, see that man over there, wonder why he's crying, maybe you should go talk to him or just leave him alone. She's talking to this guy over here. I don't know. So we're gonna circle back around and we're gonna come talk to this little guy. Do, 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 do. So the man on the bench, because there's supposed to be a bench right here, and this was all supposed to be like a concrete sort of thing. I would honestly prefer if you left me alone today. I'd rather talk tomorrow. And then if you come up to a lot of these different businesses, I didn't really want to get too far into it, so like storefront, the sign says stores closed, please come back later. You can come back here. I don't know if you can see it, but I put like a little restroom icon back here. So if you hit space, restroom, you don't need to use the restroom right now. You can come back here to the TV store, and that's a little hard to read with the current lighting, but you can run into it, and then it'll have like the news for the day. So every day it'll have a different news story. And then every day that you press R, oh, now I'm forgetting which button it is. It was a little while ago that I did this, filming this on the 30th. I did this on the 5th. So I'll just cheat. So you can come up to the library, and similar to how in Persona you have different attributes. For example, you have intelligence and charisma and courage. I wanted to try to incorporate a little bit of those to try and work those into the social links. And so certain ones would be locked until you hit a certain level. I couldn't quite get them to work. But the idea here is you will gain intelligence by spending time here at the Sandpoint Library. Would you like to spend your afternoon here to study? If you try to move, you're again locked. You can see it up there, not moving. If you press no, you'll still have to exit out of the little window, and then you can start moving again. You can come back in, and if you press enter, then everything will go away until you come back in. So we're going to hit yes, and here's where I had a little bit of a problem. So in the Persona style, you would spend the time there, your intelligence would increase, and then the time would pass. With how the coding works out in this one, if you press yes, the day will reset, it'll add +1 to the day, and then it'll come back, and then you'll have to go through and increase your academics that way. And then you decide to go home. That's when it was supposed to reset the day. But in this case, now we're on day 2. So if we come over here and try to talk to this guy again, he'll say, oh, you're back. So it's a different line of thought for each one of these people. So we'll come back here just to show that everything's different. And then our news story back here and this little guy up here are all different as well. So I got 3 days total. I figured that'd be a nice little sampling to see if everything would work. You can also come back out to the main road. So if you press space, now you're into like an overall map HUD, similar to Persona 3 or Persona 4, where you have to select where you want to go next. So you have both this arrow going down or up, excuse me, tapping out at the top and tapping out at the bottom. You also have this arrow jumping around to the different parts of town. So the only one that I tried to flesh out was the No Doze Cafe. So if you try to go in that one, now you're in a little cafe, your little character's here, and he's sort of wandering around. There's nothing here because I didn't need it, excuse me, I didn't need it to be. I just wanted to make sure that it would work, and then you can come back out, and you can press space, and now you're back at the main overall map view. So we'll go back to the town square, and just to show you, the lighting's changed a little bit. That's just due to my poor lighting capabilities. But if you hit space, it's the same conversation as you had before, so we're all on the same day. And then, again, I forget which key it is to end the day, so we'll just come back over here and cheat again. Yeah, and that's where it kind of broke. So I don't remember. Nope, still on day 2. So I was trying to make everything work that way, but it just wasn't happening. So now we're on to day 3. The little image didn't pop. That was my mistake. But everybody has their own little line of dialogue once more. So just to demonstrate it. And they all have varying lengths of conversation too. So it could be like 1 line, it could be like 12 lines, could be as many as we want. But that's just sort of the clone that I was going after. Not perfect, but I was pretty happy with it for a couple hours. So I hope you enjoy it, and I might continue to flesh this out in the time to come.